Hello, Orange Cat here with another specialty case series from Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1, where I go a bit more in depth of the stuff you can find. We're gonna continue with exploring John's diary and the Cordona section of it. The first one is consequences, since they can be quite long to do just one video of each stuff, because otherwise I think it's gonna be quite long. So the ones, these are consequences, basically the newspapers you can buy after finishing certain cases. Not all cases will produce a newspaper article, but if you are able to buy one. This costs like one year in game currency, and you'll notice right away when there's a new newspaper, because newspaper boy or newspaper stand will be shouting that you will be able they will scream the article like here news about XX. Yeah, the first one, murder on the loose. I will slowly read and read it. Some of the newspaper articles. A noble with a taste for the occult got more than she bargained for. After after a visit to a spiritualist known deaf, Luca Calici, the famous medium, is wanted for strangulations of a woman at Il Palazzo de Lusso last night. The investigation officer said the crime appears to be the consequence of a theft carried out during the Mr. Golini seance. In an unlikely development, the investigation was initiated not by the police, but another guest at the hotel, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Staff locked the spiritualist in a hotel while awaiting the authorities, but the man somehow managed to escape. A reward has been offered for any information as to Mr. Golini's whereabouts. This is one of the first cases you get when you arrive Cordona, so of course, depending on what you decide to do during a case will influence what the article writes. The hive gets stung. The citizens across Miners End and Silverton last night awoke to gunshots and screams, the byproducts of a substantial police sting targeting hideouts of the hive crime syndicate. This unprecedented operation had been in the planning for almost 6 months and led to 13 arrests per lead investigator Chief Constable Donovan. As Cordona police stormed the group's warehouses, many hive ringleaders attempted to flee on a smuggling vessel loaded with weapons hidden inside crates. Officers learned of the escape plan, and the ship was intercepted by a military patrol shortly after leaving the shores of Cordona. Once a powerful organization formed from the merger of several local gangs, unified beneath one mysterious master. The hive has appeared to be in decline for some time. The alleged result of it, leader's death and subsequent factional fighting. Yeah, this is one of the police cases you'll be able to do in-game case. Elephant adopted again. The second time Goliath was adopted, first owned by Theodore Gilden, the elephant snapped and killed his owner in a flagrant incident last week. Despite the best efforts of the victim's daughter to see the animal executed, Goliath was spared when the philanthropist Fergus Stillhart arranged for its collection. If, as rumored, Mr. Stillhart already owns a female elephant, Goliath ought to be pleased. That said, The vengeful Mrs. Gilden has now taken her case to court, so as to see justice dealt and the creature executed. So this is from the Gilded Gates, so the second main game case. Story ends for beloved bookshop. Old City's antique bookstore was a picture of this island. Ask anyone from children taking to the written word for the first time to the movers and shakers of the Cordona's elite. All will effuse about its calming, if musty atmosphere and wondrous collection of unique tomes. Indeed, the author himself spent many treasured hours with the shop's walls, for it had not closed in decades, if not centuries old. To today, visitors discovered a padlock on the door and its own, the kind Angelo Dondolo absent. Dondolo, whose family held the shop even during times of Ottoman occupation, has disappeared. With no explanation for his departure, I am not alone in expressing my deep concern for his safety. Should Mr. Dolono not return, Paris, the Taunt Chronicle proposes to raise funds to acquire the business and uphold the store's legacy in its honor. So this was part of the in-game. I'm not sure if it was from a DLC content or from in-game case. The Headless eels floundering. Smugglers operating under the name of Cordona Fish Company have lost their leader. Friedrich Panzer, the head of Eels gang, was arrested overnight in one of his warehouses, caught red-handed alongside gold that has to be smuggled in the fish. Were it not for the swift and precise police operation, the stolen jewelry would have left Cordona, never to be seen again. Instead, the priceless property will be returned to its owners. The Strike of the Eagle. The sudden death of Mark Ridley, son of General Arthur Ridley, has shaken Cordona. Police already have a suspect on the arrest, none other than Ozai from the House of the Eagle, a pillar of the old city community. Tensions between the British military and the local population has increased, with already a dozen deaths from multiple clashes on the street of the old city. Authorities are working to de-escalate the situation, but it is unclear how long they will be able to maintain order. Could this be the end of our island's fragile peace? Frosty reception of refugees. The British envoy decision to grant citizenship to dozens of refugees seem to have received a cold reception from the public. Interviews with multiple civilians are common motives: a fear of increased crime, a delusion of Cordona's culture, and an uniform insistence that these concerns have no racial undercurrent. Recent discovery of a dead man inside the refugee camp has heightened tensions, though police have been slow to investigate. A spokesman from the department suggests there may have been a quarrel between the victim and members of the camp, but officers have not yet identified the suspect. Cordona's newest citizens may find themselves with a few outlets as the city, as one council declined to be named, but if those people wish to be welcomed with open arms, they have should not have jumped the queue. Danger in the deep. Drowning of 3 seamen has struck fear into the hearts of those that live near the water, with the whimpers of mermaid scourge traveling quickly across Cordona. Authorities have declared the sailor's death to be an accident. That this has done little to quell worries about the mermaid may strike next. Officer Ackley of the Cordona police was dismissive, saying, "You do not need a vengeful fish woman to drown in a puddle if you are Arf arf, we advise always travel home with a companion. Good actor killed by bad actor. Police stormed the Manchos mansion yesterday, recovering an depraved soiree and the body of Cordona's most beloved beauties, Fabio. A sickening twist, young Adonis was found on the basement altar surrounded by occult inscription drawing. Several attendees of the gala were arrested and upon further investigation, police determined that the strange circumstances of the death were the killer's attempt to hide the truth. A source with knowledge of the situation tells it was manslaughter and that the owner of the house, Mr. Kurt Menchels, had unintentionally killed the drugged actor in an act of self-defense. Were it not for his attempt to hide the crime, he would have walked free instead. Mr. Menchels now faces 2 years in gaol. The ides of Augusta. Cordona is reeling the shocking confession of Augusta Capello that she was responsible for the death of Nicolo Detti. Despite rumors of infidelity with the deceased, Basilio Capello has taken a public stand supporting his wife. He has proclaimed her innocence and taken steps to defend her in the court with the help of his family. Concerned citizens of Cordona can only hope this incident does not spark more violence between Capello and Detti clans after a period of fragile peace. Turning a blind eye. A few scant years since the last tragedy, the blind duo takes another victim. After the first accident, many assumed this inane sport of male braggadocio would be retired. Of course, those people underestimated the degeneracy of men. Erich von Staub had been shot dead and his murderer remained uncaught. The prohibition of this nonsense is overdue. We should denounce all romanticize such unruly activity. Lest must suffer similar fates. A treasured man. Cordona's annual treasure has come to an end, and all must hail the new champion, young Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Holmes was able to locate the most treasures in a miraculously short time, surpassing all records set in the past 5 years. Though some fractious contestants accuse Mr. Holmes of being a local disguise, organizers determined have verified his recent arrival with port officials. Stolen painting returned. Things looked dire for Cordona's needy when a precious painting was stolen from Sir Finlay Lane's gallery during an auction to raise money for homeless children. As the main lot organizers have pinned their hopes of building a shelter for the needy on the valuable artwork. When it went missing, the fundraiser was halted. But in an unexpected twist, the painting was today returned to Sir Lane's home. Why it was taken remains unknown, but to whoever is responsible for its return, a grateful city says thank you. Our island's sickly children will be blessed with a roof over their heads for another year. Shipwreck in Portsmouth. Unexpected tragedy has struck the Arctic expedition vessel Ides as it approached London. The ship which departed from Cordona last month was due to dock for supplies, but never made it to port. One survivor, the first mate, washed ashore at Portsmouth in the dead of night, but all other crew and passengers are believed to have perished in the incident. The cause of the shipwreck is currently unknown. Slave trade trounced. One might believe Cordona's unseemly slave trade days were behind him, but recent events have shown light on scandalous truth that never went away. The investigation effort of an upstanding citizen, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, resulted in the discovery of slaves imprisoned in an abandoned railway depot. Under considerable pressure, the authorities have now intervened, with captives free, families reunited, and the malefactors arrested. And yet, one question remains: how could slave traders operate on Cordona for years without being detected by the police? Aritcle shall be campaigning for the immediate investigation of this neglect of duty corruption. Grave mistake. An investigation into cases of grave robbing led authorities to Ursula O'Neill, the chief archivist, who had recently disappeared. Mrs. O'Neill's body was found in the tomb. She had been plundering with no explanation as to how it got there. Police believe Mrs. O'Neill took advantage of her archive access to identify the graves of the rich so that she and her accomplices could rob them. One presumes this disgraceful behavior was seized with the source of valuable information for the grave robbers no longer talking. Yeah, these eels are all the newspapers I've been able to collect in game, and I don't think I missed any of them, because otherwise if you are near an
Extra!
okay, so I missed 2.
Check the front page.
I missed 2 apparently. Okay, then I'm gonna check them out as well. So the other 2 that have been missed. Suicide claims another. Shocking scenes at the Rolling Bricks Bridge today as a young man leaped to his death in broad daylight. Witnesses report that the man was running as if hell itself was chasing him. With the police refusing to discuss the matter, many questions remain. Was he mad, or being pursued by something truly terrifying? As officers continue to investigate, of course, any with the knowledge of this tragic event to come forward. Robin's finally put in the cage. The one fell swoop. The entirety of the Robbins gang were today arrested, including a famous leader, Lucky Joe. The hoodlums have been charged with multiple cases of blackmail, robbery, illegal bookmaking, and murder. The police raid revealed a vast collection of incriminating materials that the gang extort the rich and the powerful. Due to the sensitivity of these documents, the defendants will face trial in closed court, with the blackmail materials subsequently destroyed. So all these consequences are newspapers you can buy, and some of the cases or the newspapers I read are part of actually I'm not sure. There are a few that are from DLC cases. Some are from, but the majority of them are for free, but now you can read them all if you want. So yeah, thank you for watching. You can follow, subscribe if you like. Wish you all well, and see you in the next video.